Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we start, subscribe and share the video. It helps me a lot. Today, I'm bringing you a bombshell that has once again shaken the celebrity gossip world. Sara Bluma's ex-husband, Stefano Papa, broke his silence with a line that set off every alarm. It was the last favor I did for Ken Yaman. And with just a few words, what for weeks had been rumors, hints, and ambiguous posts suddenly took on a whole new dimension, the silence that exploded. For months, many people wondered why Stefano wasn't saying anything. In his interview, he made it clear. According to him, he chose to stay quiet because he thought it would be less destructive for everyone. But over time, that silence was interpreted as if he were accepting everything. And that's when he dropped the bomb. His story with Sara wasn't just a divorce, but the beginning of a much bigger storm. I saw the change first. Stefano claims he noticed a transformation in Sara even before Ken Yaman entered the picture. He says she wanted more visibility, more influence, to feel untouchable. And he ends with an idea that connects to another line already circulating about Ken: "She used me." Result? Accusations that now sound even heavier. What does the last favor mean? Here's the strongest part. Stefano says he has very serious documents and evidence, but he decided not to show them. Why? According to him, to avoid damaging Ken Yaman's career and mental health even further. In short, he portrays himself as someone who held back, not someone seeking revenge. Of course, not everyone believes him. Demet Özdemir, the most innocent. Another point that fueled debate. Stefano said Demet Özdemir would be the most innocent person in this whole mess. He claims he doesn't know her personally, but as an outside observer, he believes her name was dragged into it by other people's ambitions. And this aligns with what people close to Demet have been saying. She's fed up and wants to cut all ties with the scandal to focus on her career. Sara's silence and the shadow of a lawsuit. After these statements, all eyes naturally turned to Sara Bluma. But she still hasn't spoken. Information reportedly leaked from her circle saying she considers Stefano's words biased and unfair, and that she may pursue legal action. Meanwhile, her silence fuels the question repeated online: guilt or strategy? Ken Yaman's reaction, and Ken, according to reports, didn't take it well. To his closest circle, he allegedly said something like, "Everyone talks, but nobody knows what I went through." Also, the last favor idea reportedly made him especially angry because, from his perspective, it makes it look like Ken Yaman needs protection. The scene splits in two, and this isn't over. After the interview, the gossip world split. Some see Stefano as sincere, though late. Others say it was pure payback and self-justification. On social media, the comments are harsh. Only now you decide to speak? Everyone protects their own interests? Nobody wins in this story? And pay attention to this final detail. People say there's unusual activity in Sara's inner circle. She allegedly reduced her circle, cut off some friendships, and has become even more private. There are even rumors she wants to wait and see whether Stefano speaks again before taking legal action. Because let's be clear, this no longer looks like just a love triangle. Fame, power, career, ego, and psychological pressure are all mixed into this story. And the big question remains, if the whole truth ever comes out, who will survive the storm? If you want, in the next video, I'll tell you what clues suggest Ken might be preparing an interview and what radical measure Demet may be considering to disappear from this noise. Honestly, every time the topic Ken Yaman and Demet Özdemir comes up again. I feel a mix of exhaustion and curiosity, more because of the circus around it than the relationship itself. I completely understand those who say, how tiring. It feels like the same headline gets recycled again and again, even though reality is likely much simpler and far less dramatic. To me, it seems Can is chased by an endless narrative of exes and reunions because it sells, not because there's necessarily anything real to report. If I focus on Can Yaman, what I see is someone in a strong professional moment, and that's exactly why he becomes the perfect target for any rumor. Some comments say it plainly. He's in a wonderful stage of his career, and it's frustrating that people always try to drag him back into gossip territory, as if his work were secondary. That feels unfair to me, because the focus should be on what he's building as an actor, not whether he liked someone's post or followed someone again. It's incredible how on social media, a tiny gesture turns into proof of a reconciliation, a pregnancy, or a new soap opera chapter. It also bothers me how people use a double standard about private life. Many say, I don't care, private life should stay hidden, and I partly agree, not because people can't comment, but because constant exposure ends up distorting everything. In Turkey, and this feels very true, the love life of a public figure rarely ends for real. It becomes permanent fiction. The idea gets planted that a story always continues, even when the relationship no longer exists. And then, Can gets trapped in a script he didn't write. I'm also struck by how quickly some people go from admiration to contempt. In the comments, you see supportive, affectionate messages, some even praising his mother and family, alongside others accusing him of being fake or lying. Personally, I don't buy absolute labels that easily. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, so I prefer judging the character less and looking more at the pattern. When someone grows and becomes more visible, the noise, suspicion, and they're not trustworthy anymore automatically appear, as if success must be paid for with a constant campaign of distrust. And about Demet, honestly, I think her name gets used as leverage to keep Can inside a romantic storyline that hooks the audience. But if there's one thing I take from all this, it's the opposite. Can should be allowed to close chapters without the public demanding an endless sequel. If a story ends, it ends. The rest is fan projection, social media interpretation, and theories born from following, unfollowing, liking, or a mother interacting with someone. That's far too fragile a ground to claim anything seriously. In summary, my impression is that Can Yaman is paying the typical price of being highly visible and closely watched. While his career moves forward, gossip tries to pull him back to keep him tied to constant romantic drama. If I have to choose, I'll stick with the simplest version: less soap opera, more work, and a bit more respect for boundaries. Because in the end, private life shouldn't be a mandatory spectacle, and talent shouldn't be buried under noise.